we have an update for our AI graphic generator. This is really exciting. Now, there are 3 main styles for this new AI graphic generator. The first one is embroidery. Then we have patch. And finally, pop art. So let's see how we get to this. So what you're going to do is go to your graphic tab in your object browser. There will be a magic wand. You can click on that, and then the pop-up for AI graphic generator beta will show up. You can also get this through selecting a graphic, and in the basic parameters, there will be a magic wand there that you can select. Now, you'll have content type in your pop-up. Here, there's a drop-down, and you can say style, and then you'll be able to select between embroidery, patch, or pop art. You know, those 3 types we showed you earlier. Or you could say none, and then you won't have the defined style, and CLO will just generate something. You can then have a transparent background. You can turn that on or off. And then we have our text prompt section here where you can write in what you're imagining. Here is where you'll see your future graphic. And then you can pop out the history and see all of the different graphics and everything that you've generated in the past in this file, which is really cool. Within this AI graphic generator, it does support all of the languages that CLO provides. However, it is highly suggested to use English. We find that it just is more accurate. So here I'm going to type in my text prompt. Here I'm going to start to type in my prompt. Now, you can type in as much as you'd like, and of course be as descriptive as you want to be. But just remember that you want to just use simple descriptive words, not full sentences. And if you want to emphasize anything, you can put parentheses around them so that CLO can focus on that. You'll then hit generate, and then it will start to generate. What's also cool is you can minimize this window so you can do other things in CLO. And there will be a little verbiage that tells you, there will be a prompt that tells you that your graphic is ready. And you'll have the cutest little graphic here. And I can hit apply. And as you can see, it shows up in your object browser. So cool. And now I can just drag and drop that onto my workspace here. And you can edit and adjust your graphic just as you normally would with any graphic using your edit graphic tool. So cool and easy. I can maximize this window again, and I can generate another graphic. So here I'm going to do the style option, and I'm going to pick embroidery. And since I'm picking embroidery, I'm going to hit, I have a transparent background. And now I can type in a new prompt. And if I add in a period, then it will separate it. And again, you can emphasize anything with the parentheses if you want to. I'll then hit generate. And here I'm going to select this graphic in the object browser and hit apply. And you'll see that then it will update that graphic in your 3D window and in your object browser to this new one. I can then generate again, and I can keep going through until I get the graphic that I'm most happy with. I also can do the pin, so this will pin my prompt or the style that I like here, and then I can keep generating. And if you don't have an idea of what to write, you can always just hit random generate, and then you can just go through all different random generation options, and CLO will write something for you. We've also updated our avatar. So partnering with Nuva, we now can update our avatar's facial features. So not only are you able to transform the face so that it looks like a human, but it will also adjust the facial mesh structure using AI-generated facial images or prompts to create that. As you can see here, This is using a prompt, and this is using an image file. Pretty amazing. So let's get into how this actually works. You can find this in either the avatar dropdown, auto convert to face. This is a beta feature. We're just testing it out, looking for ideas and everything, but everyone can use this. You can also access this through selecting the avatar, and there will be a magic wand underneath the body styling, and the window will come up. Now you have an option between prompt and image, which you can select. So this is the prompt, and here we have the image. They look a little bit different, as you can see. Let's go back to the prompt. So with the prompt, what do you have? So here are your options. Right now you can select gender. We really only have female, and you can also select age and ethnicity. So as I said before, we only have female as an option for gender. For age, we have quite a few options, 10 years old all the way to 80. Pretty great. And then we have a few different ethnicities to choose from. We hope to increase this list, but this is what we've started with. Then you have your text prompt. Works the same as all of our other AI generations. And then you have the image of the face from that prompt. You also have the history that you can expand or minimize. Now let's go to image. So for image, again, you can select the gender. We only have females as of now. And then what you can do is upload. So then you upload a JPEG. Now, please know this always works best with a clean background and good lighting. Lighting will change how the face looks. So let's go to prompt and actually create a prompt here. So now I'm going to select my age because I'm going to pick female, my ethnicity, and now I'm going to write in my prompt. Again, be as detailed as you want. The more descriptive words, the better. The more you can think of, the better. And also, don't forget with our languages, we support all of the CLO provided languages, but it is always more accurate to use English. I can then select generate. And if I wanted to minimize this window, I could. And here I've got my first face. Now I could say convert. And now as you see, my avatar's face has changed. Of course, I can use my random generation option. And I can generate an image through that as well. Just know straight on is always better. And again, lighting will affect how the face looks and also like the tone of the skin and everything. This feature is still in pilot, and how this works may change in the future due to the feedback we gain from all of you. So know that this is still in work, and we hope that it can keep on being improved and used for all of you. We've made some updates to the linked editing. Now, the official new tool of linked editing was released in a previous version, but now we've made some updates to it. So first, instead of having to select every single line to see your linking, you can now go to the toggle menu and you'll be able to show and hide all linking. So you'll be able to know what's linked and what's not a lot easier and quicker. Another update we've made is we've brought the right-click unlink back in the editing tools and also in the sewing tool as well. So you can just quickly have either your edit pattern tool and select the line and right-click and unlink. You can do it in your edit sewing tool, and you can do it in the edit link tool. So all those you can unlink and link quickly and easily. The other update we've made is with scaling and groups. So here we have the whole and the pattern, and they're linked together. Now, when I scale this, both will be scaled together because everything's linked. I know, great feature. And we've made it, watch this. So if you adjust it here, it will also adjust the movements as well. So it'll make it so that the whole is looking exactly the same as the cutout and everything. And another really amazing update we did to help keep precision there is the precision boxes now work with linked editing. So you can select something, right click, get that precision box, and be able to edit very precisely within CLO with the linked editing. It's really great and we're really happy about it. And as you can see still here, everything that you adjusts together, which really makes editing easier. So we've made some updates in this patch version on selections for patterns. So first, let me bring in a file. And I'm going to bring in this project. What you'll see here in this project is there's a lot of internal lines and a lot of pattern outlines broken up. Now here I want to just select those 3 internal lines. A lot of times this happens, you select them, but then you have to deselect those segment lines and everything. Well, we've made an update. Now holding down Control, you can make just specific selections. So instead of having to have everything within that marquee box, if you hold down Control, the things within the marquee box will be selected. So this is how you can get even more precise selections within CLO. Really cool, really amazing. This also will work with our transform pattern tool, which is even cooler. So it's right now working with our edit pattern tool. And if I switch over to the transform pattern tool, I can again hold down Control and the pieces inside of the marquee box will be completely selected. Really amazing, right? Again, making it so selecting within CLO is even more accurate. So let's talk about 2D pattern angles. You ever want to know what the angle is of the corner that you're using? Well, now in CLO, you'll be able to see just that. Here I'm going to bring in my file. And now all I have to do is go to my edit pattern tool, click on the points or lines or whichever, and I'll then be able to see my corner, my angles. So you can also go to your toggle, 2D toggle menu and show all lines, and then you'll be able to see your angle measurements here. And by just selecting the line, you'll be able to see the angles as well. We've updated our notches. So you see here how you put a notch in your corner of the pattern. There's a notch on each side, and you're kind of like, well, that's not exactly what I wanted, right? Now you have the option of making it so that it is directly in the corner or on those 2 sides. It's all on whatever you want. All you have to do is go to your edit notch, and here I can select the notch, and I'll have this new option with notch placement, and I can have it centered or extend. And I'm going to pick center. And now that I have centered, it now will be exactly the same of what I have in the pattern here in my seam allowance. Pretty great, right? We have also updated our seam allowance here. So originally you couldn't add seam allowance to a hole. Now you can. So here I created this hole in this pattern. I'll go to my seam allowance tool and I'll just apply it to my pattern in my hole right here. Really easy. So back in the beginning, if you created a DXF pattern in another software far away from the center, CLO would show that and it would not automatically center that DXF pattern. Now to help speed up workflows, when you import a DXF, like I'm about to now, CLO will automatically center it inside your workspace so that you don't have to recenter anything. Now when I go to show grading, you'll see that all of my grading lines are colored. We've always had this. But if I go into print layout, one of the previous updates was I could then also see all my grading in different colors. A great update that we were really happy to give. What we've done here is we've made it so you actually have control over the colors you want. As you can see in the grading tab in the object browser, you can see all of the different colors and you can select them and change them out so they can be colorized to your standards and what your brand or vendor or factory or company or whoever wants those different sizes to be, allowing for color coding within CLO. We have made some updates to our fur settings within CLO. Now you have 5 extra maps for fur, which is really exciting. Now, as you know, the only way to check fur is to go into the render window. So first I'm going to add some fur to this fabric and then go to my render window and go to interactive. Now, as you see in the past, there used to be something that just said base maps, but now that's been changed to maps. And here is where you can see the additional maps for your fur. We have now curl, gravity, bend direction, and initial direction. What we can now do is add different maps to each one of these sections, which I'll do here. Adding these extra maps has now made it so that your fur can look even more realistic. Another great add-on that this has done is it's made it so that you can use substance files that have fur within CLO as well, now that we have added in these additional maps. So now the fur can look more realistic for production and your workflows. So we have made an amazing update where you now can do a 360 panorama render. This is going to be really great for our closed set virtual showroom that we have. So here I've brought in an OBJ showroom. It's got 4 walls and everything, which will be able to render out a little bit more realistically. What I'm going to do is now go into my render window and in my camera properties, here you'll see lens and there's default, but if I do a drop down, I'll then be able to select panorama render only. Now, as you've seen, the field of views change from 15 to 60, and also everything's in a mesh. This is just to help CLO stay a little bit speedy, but if you go into the render window and you did interactive render, you'll be able to see it. What I'm now going to do is hit play making sure that my image and everything is up to the CLO standards and guides. And then I can go into CLO and say virtual showroom, add a space, and I can choose the file that I just created. So here I have it, and I can open. Now I can bring in that space, and I'll have my own personal 360 showroom to put everything in. You know how in CLO you can get anti-aliasing in the image where like there's a lot of wavy lines? Well, using image filter, you can start to improve that so that there's less anti-aliasing within your render image.